Now, it was once described as the soft underbelly of Europe, but in recent years Turkey has had a rather different reputation, especially if you're Kurdish. Former Wheble detainees, the I family, are likely to be sent back there soon from Germany. They dread it, not least because the family have heard nothing from their father since he was returned months ago. In its bid to join the EU, Turkey promised to give its Kurdish people more rights. Jim Wheble travelled there to find out if that promise has been met, and this is his exclusive report.
This is the celebration of the Kurdish New Year, Nevros. The festival's been legal since 2000. It's one of the indications that Turkey's stance towards its Kurdish population is relaxing. The previous year, the main Kurdish guerrilla force ended their struggle for a separate state, pursuing democratic change instead. Since then, the threat of torture and arrest has eased for ordinary Kurds. It's allowed big legal changes, giving them greater cultural recognition, essential changes if Turkey is ever to achieve its dream of joining the EU. But that's not the entire picture. These lawyers at the Diyarbakir Human Rights Association still come into daily contact with alleged cases of abuse and torture committed by the police or security forces. Over the last 2 years, of all the cases in the European Court of Human Rights which dealt with violations, 15% of them involved Turkey. One of the most alarming problems is the sexual abuse of women.
Evet. Gözaltına alınan her bayan cinsel tacize uğruyor. Sözlü ve fiziki.
Most of the women who've been taken to the prison have been subjected to sexual harassment. Most of them are questioned by males. Well, there's always a risk of rape. So naturally, this situation makes it possible for females to be sexually harassed by officers.
Almost 15 years of bloodshed between Kurdish guerrillas and the military have taken their toll. Health provision in the region is non-existent, with some of the highest levels of typhus and salmonella. But perhaps the most serious problem is the large number of women and children suffering psychological problems. Zulfiya is one example of a woman under pressure. 2 years ago, her children were badly injured after they played with a bomb they found outside her mother's house. Villagers believe it fell from an army convoy.
Firstly, when I saw them, I cried and then I fainted because the house is near the main road. The children thought it was a toy.
Unable to afford the cost of medical treatment, the family tried to get compensation from the army. She now believes she's being persecuted as a result.
We are a poor family. They said I was unable to take care of my children, so they opened a case against us, which isn't right. We're not guilty. The children found this bomb and it exploded. How can I be guilty for this? They could sentence me for 1 year.
I travelled 2 hours outside of Diyarbakir to a town called Bismil. I'd come to meet a 15-year-old Kurdish boy who'd been arrested from school for not saying a daily oath of loyalty to Turkey. I met Bayram in the local DHAP office, the main pro-Kurdish party in Turkey. Everyone was nervous. Bayram also didn't want his face on film as he explained what happened to him.
My teacher kicked and slapped me and threatened me with a pipe. Then I was taken by the local police to the station and made to stand up all day. Then they took me to court. I feel sad. If they jail me and my school studies finish, it'll be bad for me.
The Human Rights Association in Turkey report that for the first 3 months of this year, 110 people have been victims of torture, inhumane or degrading treatment. The Turkish government have clearly stated that state-sponsored torture will not be tolerated, but still the fear of saying the wrong thing seems to exist, as I found when I interviewed the Kurdish head of a local advice centre.
Could you close it, sir?
I mean, I only wanted to ask him...
Siyasi konulara girmesin, siyasi şeyler sormasın.
About politics.
Alır kolundan götürür, kimse bir daha beni göremez.
After these explanations, he says they can arrest me and go bring somewhere else forever. Nobody can find me.
Thousands of villages were destroyed by the army, and now only rubble marks where communities once lived. An estimated 3 million were evicted to break up supply lines for Kurdish guerrillas, but it's also meant hundreds of thousands of illiterate country folk descending on the big cities, removed from their homes at gunpoint. In one of the poorer areas of Diyarbakir, these men showed me their technique for street theft. They say they were good village boys until the army drove them from their homes, and now with no way of earning money, stealing is their only option. This man had been drinking most of the day to get the courage to steal. He'd already taken one mobile phone and was off to find more.
No, he's going for stealing. Yes. Yeah.
People in the slums have little option but to make do the best they can. But even those who have had an education and could have prospects still feel there's little hope. I met a group of students, all too scared to appear on camera, all feeling like second-class citizens.
If you speak Kurdish, you are the second class. It's always so. And I mean, we are not free. And if you want to speak Kurdish, we always treated badly by the police. We always will be arrested and went in jail and experience the torture.
What would you like people to know?
That the Kurdish people exist all over the world, and also we have rights to set up a country and to be together under the same flag, so to get our rights like all the other people on the world.